5 months since the last upload. Well, more like 4 months, but who's keeping him an account, right? The greatest show ever to be made by Commando Rick, Cooking with Rick. And now, once more, after a long ass time, it has returned with a new episode. The drums of kettles and pans sound once more for the new episode. This is the Kitchen Wars. The Kitchen Warcraft thing. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Hey guys, you missed me? Welcome back to the cooking show. Hello to you all, it is I, Cooking Rick, here once again back with the newest and greatest show ever to made, Cooking with Rick show. Sounds pretty catchy, I hope so. Anyways, it's been quite a while since the last video that I made about the newest recipe that I made. I think it was, noodles with beef and soy sauce, something like that, I believe. Oh man, I almost forgot. I mean, it's been almost months, I think. Yeah, quite a long time. But you know what? I thought to myself, you know, it's a great day outside and it's a great day for me as well. I thought, you know what? I've been talking about this for a long time, and yes, let's just make a new cooking video. That's what I thought. So yes, anyways, I'm gonna bring you a new recipe for today. Unfortunately, Eddie could not join us today because he has busy with his own work schedule and things like that. But don't worry, I brought to you a new cameraman for myself, a new best buddy, so to say, Eddie 2.0, or as I like to call him, just a camera tripod, yes, that I bought for $29.99. It's a great way to describe Eddie as a cheap, replaceable tripod, huh? But yes, anyways, back to the task at hand. Let's bring you a new recipe that I'm gonna make you for today. A simple, quite easily made chicken curry with spaghetti sauce kind of thing. I'm not really sure what to call it. Chicken curry parm, I suppose. Now let's just go with that. Chicken curry parm, I suppose. It's nothing like, something like really, I don't know, how do you say it, really bougie, like Italian, yeah, Italian kind of recipe. No, this is just a little bit my own experimentation because, you know, as you know, I like to make simple like homemade cooking recipes that you can actually afford and make, because not many like videos on YouTube are actually like show you the simplest ingredients that you can find anywhere at the store. Mostly it's just like something that you can buy in like, I don't know, huge like farmers markets or things like that, but some of us actually don't have that, just like me. So I'm gonna bring you just the simplest ingredients that I came up with myself. So anyways, let's do it, shall we? Let's go. So anyways, the first ingredient that we are gonna bring to you today is the protein of choice. Just ignore that, that's one for me. Nice. The protein of choice for today is gonna be, of course, chicken breasts. Any kind will do, cheapest, I don't know, expensive most kind, whatever you can afford, it doesn't matter. I take about 500 to 400 grams. I don't know what imperial measurement system you're using, but we're gonna use the actual, like the correct one, the the metric system. Anyways, yes, so 2 chicken breasts or 3 chicken breasts, it doesn't really matter. Next up, you'll need about 2 heads of onion, some mushrooms as well. I'm choosing the champignon mushrooms, so that's gonna go as well. Next up, of course, pasta. Any kind of pasta will do. Kind of cheap one. I took like this cheap one that costed like 89 cents, but yeah, this will do as well. Next up is sweet cream, or saldeiskräms as it's called in my language. You can, if you don't have like this kind of sweet cream, you can also use like, what was it, sour cream and water and mix it up together. It works quite fine as well, but just because, you know, I'm better than you, I'm actually gonna use sweet cream instead. And since I like a little bit of green as well, we're gonna add some broccoli as well. 1 clove of broccoli should suffice more than enough. And a little bit of cheese as well. I had some leftover cheese that I bought the other day or so, so this is purely optional as well. You don't really need the cheese, but you can also add it if you want it. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for like the ingredients that you're gonna use. For the spices and things like that, we're gonna talk it in just a minute. But yes, this is pretty much all that you need. So yes, that's pretty much all the ingredients that you're gonna need. And just like before, the first things that we're gonna do is like prepare our workplace. And of course that means washing our hands, that I have already done. I hope so. Did I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Of course I have. Anyways, yes. Just wash your hands, prepare all your necessary like tools that you need, knives.
Let me see what you have. No!
And forks and whatever, you know, pans, things like that. And yeah, let's just start with, shall we? I don't know much about what other people do usually when they start cooking, but what I like to do, just like in many other restaurants and other like food industrial places, I like to prepare my ingredients first. I know that most people when they cook, they just do it on the go, like let's say they cut up the chicken breasts or the protein or something else and then just throw it in the pan, start cooking, and then just start cutting the next one. I don't usually like to do it because it's kind of hard to like time manage, to micromanage, so to say, the things, because you have to like keep your eyes peeled on one place and the other, and it's kind of messy. So it's much more easier if you just prepare the all the ingredients beforehand. So let's just do that. So first things up, we're gonna cut up our protein and mix it up with the choice of the spices that I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. So first things up first, let's cut our protein. It doesn't really matter how you cut it. I mostly just cut in like small bits. You can cut them in strips or whatever you want. It's mostly just your choice. And here we go, nice cut up pieces of chunks of chicken breasts. Now we're just gonna clean up our workplace and return with mixing the spice. So, okay, the choices of the spice for today is gonna be paprika powder, some basil, curry, salt, pepper, and I also got a little bit of some red chili flakes here, like kind of peppers. They smell real nice, like flowers. This I got from my mother that she sent me from Germany, and Germany got it from Turkey. So yeah, it's pretty based, pretty nice. This is also optional because if some of you really can't handle the spice, you don't have to add it. More than enough, this is just gonna suffice, but this is mostly just for me because I like spicy food. Even though my gut doesn't really agree with it, I still like it. So anyways, let's just start mixing the spice, shall we? Let's go. And here we go, some nicely mixed spiced chicken. So that's pretty much how it looks for me. Not sure what it's gonna look for you guys, but this is pretty much it. I like to mostly pre-mix my meat and protein like this, because once you cook like the meat and put the salt and all the spices in the pan already, it kinda sticks to the pan, so to say, and I don't really enjoy it. I like mixing it up and do it like this because then it soaks up all the spices already inside, like a little bit of marinade, I suppose you could say that. But yeah, I mostly like to do this. It's easier and much more better. It cooks a lot bit more better as well, because then no spices and no salt is left out once you cook the protein. That hits the spot. So next up that we're gonna cut up and prepare is gonna be our greens, mainly our champignon mushrooms, our broccoli, and our onions. So what you want to do first is, of course, wash your greens, and that means your broccoli and your the mushrooms as well. So yeah, in a minute I'm gonna wash all the greens and show you how I cut it up and pre-prepared. So yeah, just a minute. So we got our mushrooms nicely washed and got rid of all the dirt that's mostly in it, because as you know, if you buy the fresh mushrooms, these champignons, there's mostly a little bit of chunks of earth still on them, so it's really recommended that you always, and I mean always, wash your greens. It doesn't matter if at the store they look pretty and very shiny, you always wash your greens, always. So anyways, let's start cutting up then, shall we? Let's go. So, how do you cut up these mushrooms? Well, it's really depends on you mostly. If you want to cut up them chunks, you then do it like this, so to say. Yeah, pretty much easily. But I mostly just like to cut them in thin slices instead, so they cook a little bit more faster. So, yeah. And here we go, some nicely thin cut up mushrooms. Quite a lot of them actually, but it doesn't matter. Once you cook them up, all the water and the moisture from them is gonna just disappear and they're gonna shrunk on the half size. So yeah, that's our mushrooms done. Next up is the broccoli. And look at this beauty, quite nice, quite green, very nice. Mostly we're just gonna use this upper side, we don't really need this thing, like this stalk itself, because it's really hard. All the good stuff is here, on the treetop. So let's cut it up, just like that, shall we? Let's do it. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm not gonna really cut it up, mostly I'm just gonna like rip off these small little bits of the broccoli and just toss them in the bowl, and that's pretty much it. So that's our broccoli ready. Next up that we're gonna cut up is the last part, the onions. And here we go, the last part for our greens, for our veggies, 2 heads of onions. And no, I am not gonna cry this time. No, this time at least. So, just cut off the bottom and the top. Cut in the middle, like this. And just easily peel off the skin. At least that's how I do it. Much more easier than just, peel off the skin and, waste time when it's whole. This is much more easier. And just like the last time in the last 3 videos or so, cut the onions like this. Start from the top. Watch your fingers, of course, and then just easily like this, in small chunks. Chunks. There we go. Just like that. Easy peasy. Oh crap, you guys. I said I wasn't gonna cry, but it seems a little bit of onion juice did get in my eye. Fuck it out. Ugh. But at least it's not as bad as the last time, so I'm gonna live. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That's the simple law that it. Oh, brat. And yes, here we go. All our ingredients nicely prepared and cut up, ready for use. So, all we just need is a pan and a kettle for your spaghetti and for your sauce itself. So yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? Let's go. So, I don't know much about you guys, but I really like these giant wok pans, because they're like pans and giant kettles in one size, and I really like to use them. So if you have these at home as well, pretty much use them as well. But if you don't, you can easily just buy them. I hope you have some like stores that actually sell them. So yeah, you should definitely have these, because these are like serious lifesavers. I understand now why a lot of like Asian households used a lot of these things. These are really awesome. So yeah, we're just gonna heat up our pan and start with the greens. Add some oil in, heat up the pan, nice and hot. And the first thing that we're gonna add are gonna be the onions and the mushrooms. So they, how do you say it, saute, I guess. So all the moisture and all the, all the water just evaporates out of them, and they get shrunken less and less. So they cook it up nice and well. And here we go, the nice pan is nice and hot, and we can start adding our first greens. First the onions. after they cook up a little bit, we're gonna add our mushrooms then as well. The smell is incredible here. Smells quite nice once you always cook your onions. I mean, there is just something about this that I love it. The onions are caramelizing nicely and fast, and all the moisture is leaving them very soft and edible. So we can just start easily adding our mushrooms as well. Now, as you can hear, the pan has calmed down a little bit, so it's not like sizzling and hot anymore. Right now it's properly sauteing. You can see all the moisture and all the water just coming out of the onions and the mushrooms. And the greens themselves are getting nice and soft as well. So pretty much what you are looking for is like this, nice golden brown. So pretty much you can already start adding your protein as well. Just make sure that you cook it thoroughly and leave no raw meat in, because yeah, eating raw meat isn't that fun. But also don't overcook your chicken as well, because this needs to stay nice and moist. Man, I like that word, moist. And just look at that beauty. The smell is amazing. You can see all the spices mixing up quite nicely and cooking as well. Quite good. The chicken is very tender, very moist, and that's what we are going for. Remember, cook them thoroughly and leave no raw meat behind. So, and while our meat is still cooking a little bit, getting rid of all that raw meat inside that, we're gonna start boiling our spaghetti. First things up that you're gonna need is like at least a tablespoon of salt. Put it in the water, mix it up quite nicely, and then only then put the desirable amount of the spaghetti that you want. I'm gonna put about a half, that's like 250 from 500 that's in right now, so it's gonna be nice few portion sizes. I also know that a lot of people like to break them and put them in. Don't do that, never do that. Seriously, that's like the shittiest thing that you can do that. Please don't do that. Just take a nice sizable half amount of the spaghetti, maybe a little bit less, or less, should be more than enough, and just put it into the water, like this, and just mix it up until all the spaghetti gets in the bowl, in the water, and boils nicely. Don't do this, like break them in half and put them in the bowl. It's a really shitty thing to do. Like seriously, I get fucking PTSD when I ever see it. So, our meat is cooking quite nicely, and the third last thing that we're gonna add is our broccoli. Have you forgot about them? Well, I haven't. So yeah, this is right before you stop cooking the meat, you just add this lastly, because it's not gonna end there. Oh no, this is not the end for the sauce yet. Alright, one last thing that I forgot to mention, also add a little bit of oil to your spaghetti as well, so they don't stick together. So let's see that our spaghetti is nicely cooked and ready, and all we have to do is now just add the sauce itself. What I like to do is first, let's turn up this to the maximum, is add at least 1 liter of water from this spaghetti that I got it, and then we're just gonna add the sweet cream. Mostly you can just add like 2 of these packages and without the water, but since I'm a cheap bastard I like to do it myself. Plus it's add a little bit of flavor from all the oil and the salt in the water, so that's nice. Why can't I open this piece of shit? Come on, damn it. So, add this nice cream in. Mix it up nice and fast. And just so you can have the thickness for your sauce, you can add 2 things. Either the cheese that I showed you earlier, or some flour as well, so it adds like the thickness to it. This is why mostly they add like Parmesan cheese, especially grated one. But for myself, I always found it like the normal kind of cheese works as well. And you don't really need to like spend too much money on like Parmesan cheese and things like that. So our sauce is ready, and we drained our spaghetti as well nicely, so it's doesn't have any excess water in it. And now we just can start plating. There we go, that's a beauty. Mostly when I like make spaghetti or things like that, I mostly make them at least 1 or 2 portions and then just add the sauce, because it's not really that, you know, tasty once you make like a lot of spaghetti and then leave them to cook for tomorrow. It's not the same, so mostly I would just suggest that you like make at least 1 portion or 2 portions and then just add the sauce, and then you can leave the sauce for tomorrow that you can reheat. But the spaghetti you should always, I suggest that you make fresh, because it really leaves the flavor nice and well. And let's add our sauce and protein. And done. And here we go, nice plate of spaghetti chicken parm or something like that with broccoli. Quite nice and quite delicious looking. So time for the taste test. Let's dig in. Delicious. The spaghetti has been cooked to perfection. The protein itself is nice, moist, delicious. The sauce, the spices all mixing well together. Oh, it is just awesome. So I would say this is yet another success by yours truly. And yeah, this was a pretty nice recipe that I mostly thought of myself. It's pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share, like, subscribe. What else? join our Discord. You can do that, you know, if you want to hang out, post memes, things like that. I also made a new Twitter account, so you can check it out. I don't really like that much social media, but if you have any like questions or suggestions, you can leave them on my Twitter page, because apparently YouTube has this little bit of tendency of shadow banning some of the comments that you guys leave on my videos, so that really kind of sucks. But yeah, anyway, if you guys have any suggestions for new videos, things like reaction videos, or maybe some recipes that you want to suggest that I try to make at home, be sure to like them, leave them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this food that I made and try it yourself to make at home for yourself or for your family. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Oh, that was a hearty meal. Damn, really tasty, really nice. What about you, Gordon? Was it also good for you?
Wow, that is delicious.
What the fuck?